It's just me and Julie this week. We're talking about the past and the future of Through the Glass Recovery podcast. We're getting ready to take a summer break, a longer one than usual, and we'll take the time to discuss the evolution of TTG. As we both move down new paths and our own recovery stories continue to evolve, so will the podcast. We'll still be here behind the scenes, though, and we'll still keep most of our free and paid resources available. From our hearts to yours, thanks to all of our incredible, loyal listeners for always supporting us as we continue this journey. We wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for all of you.
Welcome to Through the Glass Recovery podcast, where we believe that connection is the opposite of addiction, vulnerability is the antidote to shame, and that recovery isn't just rewarding, but it's also a lot of fun. We're your hosts, Julie and Steve. Listen as we get together with friends to shed light on the hard things, talk about the other side of addiction, and how we create a life so full there's no space left for alcohol.
Make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. We'll keep sending out weekly insight and encouragement for your recovery journey, as well as keeping you up to date on what's happening with TTG. You can subscribe at throughtheglassrecovery.com. All right, hello and welcome everybody. This is episode 141 of Through the Glass Recovery podcast, and we're really happy you're here. You got just me and Steve today, which hasn't happened since episode 100, but we thought it was time for a check-in and kind of a catch-up, and let's talk about what Through the Glass Recovery podcast is going to look like going forward. So yeah, I guess we'll just dive into this. We are really bad at recording podcast episodes when it's just the two of us because we never know what to say. That's really awkward. And we're doing this with video, which for me is extra awkward. So this is going to be kind of a weird podcast, but we know y'all are our friends, and so we're just going to have a conversation with y'all. So yeah, Steve, do you want to like kick us off here? I'm going to let you take the ball and run with it.
Well, we're back doing another video episode, which is rare. And the reason for us getting together and making this episode is that we have decided that we are going to take an earlier summer break than what we had normally done the past 2 seasons. Normally, we just take a couple months off in the summer and then get back to it again in August. And we're running into the same thing we felt last year and the year before. And this year, we're going to decide to acknowledge it in a little bit of a different way. I think we're growing up a little bit. We're realizing that life has changed from what it was last year and what it was the year before. Our priorities are changing, and we need to figure out what and where we put our focus on. I think that's one of the lessons that I continue to learn is when it comes to like time management and things of that nature, where I put my focus is really important. And we have our hands in a lot of different buckets and in a lot of different places. And for me, life has changed. I'm gone back to school. I'm getting an accounting degree. I just finished my first year, and I'm going to start an internship, and my kids are coming down this summer, and the list gets long. And when we do this every about February, Julie?
Yeah, I think it's usually around February. February, March.
Right.
So we get to this point where we just kind of feel a little burned out, which is fair. And to give you guys an idea of what goes into producing this podcast. So generally, Steve's in charge of trying to find guests. And because of the format that we use where we invite a whole group of people, we have to find a lot of guests for our podcast, which can mean a lot of hustling and a lot of Instagram messages and Facebook messages and networking and connecting, which is super cool. And we get to meet so many great people. And at the same time, like, it's a lot. It takes so much time and effort and energy just to find the guests to be on the podcast. And then after that, we have to schedule everything and then we have to record everything. And after the recording, Steve does all of the audio editing and I do all of the website work and the show notes and all of that. So like when all is said and done on for one podcast episode, it probably takes about 10 hours a week, which is a lot. You know, you figure the social media and trying to like push the podcast episode and get it advertised. And there's just so many parts and pieces that I think most people probably don't recognize when they just download an episode and listen to it. So to give you guys an idea, like we've been doing this for 3 seasons now. And we've been putting about 10 hours a week into every episode since I was 1 year sober. Steve was like a year and a half sober, and we love doing it. Like this isn't even, I'm not complaining, but more just giving you guys like an idea of what that looks like the behind the scenes glance at it. And we love doing it, but it also gets to the point sometimes where it's a lot, especially when life really starts happening and we've got 1,000 other things going on in our real lives. So we were hiking, I don't know, like a month ago, a month and a half ago. And just kind of out of the blue, I was like, there's a part of me that kind of just wants to be done with the podcast because it's so much sometimes. And again, because I'm feeling really burned out. And Steve was like, I've had the same thought. So we started walking and there was like this major sense of relief because it's to the point where it just feels a little overwhelming. And so we scheduled all of our last episodes and we were gonna be done at episode 140. We're like, okay, we have created so much great content. Like we have this library of resources that anybody can come to. You can search through it, you can find what you're needing, you can hear people talking about it, and we're really, really proud of it. And also we were feeling like we were really ready to be finished. So we made that decision. We kind of planned all of our last stuff, and then I'm gonna like I'll give Steve back the mic in just a second. But so fast forwarding a little bit, I just got back from a 75-mile hike in Spain, and when you meet people on the trail, you have conversations. And what I met this really sweet woman, actually from the town that Steve was born in Canada, and started telling her about the podcast, and I was like, I could feel myself lighting up when I was talking about it and telling her what we do. And, you know, she's got some people that she knows in her life that could really benefit from it. And so I was kind of explaining our format and how, you know, what it looks like. And I could feel the passion that I have for it. And so then I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be done yet because this is something that still clearly really fills my soul. So then we went back and started having more conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let you continue the story now, Steve.
Well, it's true. I'm gonna backtrack a quick minute here, and when we were having that conversation while we were hiking, the worry that I had was how was I gonna start to manage my time? I wasn't worried so much about the summer break. I was more worried about what was going to happen come September when I have a an even fuller course load because I took on more course credit hours coming September. Part-time job, so 20 hours out of my week taken out away from studying into working an internship while I'm in school. Where is my approximate 10 hours going to come from to be able to put this podcast together and give it the time that I still feel it deserves? And I put a lot of time. I just did some quick math while you were talking. I put a lot of time and effort into looking for guests. Every episode, I almost always try and find 3 new guests for every episode. I'll go back to old guests for sure. We've had a lot of repeat guests come back. And, you know, this is 140 episodes, and we did one that was just us. So that's 139 episodes. Multiply that by 3. I've contacted a minimum of 417 people. That's a minimum, right? Because if you look at it, there's plenty of people where I'll have a conversation with and they're either not a fit or they're interested or maybe not, or whatever it is. I've had tons of conversations. It's just a big number.
A
And
lot.
and that's every month, and then every week, and then recontacting and all of that stuff. And I don't even know if that time, if I can add that up properly. And then each episode I edit by hand, and I edit by hand on purpose because we've used AI before, we've tried it, and we've never actually produced an episode that was done by AI. I didn't like it so much that I just did it by hand anyways. And so if it's an hour episode, I'm basically spending 2 hours editing it. And once again, I'm not complaining. It's just, where was my time management? Where's my time going to come from? I have to make school important. I have to make it a number one thing. So where was that? And so that's where my relief was coming from. It's like, oh, okay, 10 hours of each week was going to be relieved from that. I wasn't going to have to figure out how I was going to do that. And now what we did with these last 4 episodes was we recorded them all in one day, which worked out really, really good. It was
Day. It's a long day.
it was a very long day. I'll give it that. But we got 4 episodes recorded. I got 2.5, almost 3 fully edited
Yeah.
in
I got show
between
notes written,
recordings.
RSS feeds updated and everything. So yeah.
And then the relief after that was not constantly, what am I going to do? What episode do we have coming up? Is it Wednesday night? Is it Thursday night? Are we going to organize this and organize that? It's all done in like one fell swoop and in one shot. And that was actually a really good experience that I think we're definitely going to take going forward into the next season.
Yeah.
You're right about I'm proud of putting this thing together. I'm proud of the quality of a recovery podcast that we produce. I'm proud that it's different. I like our uniqueness. I like the value that we bring.
Yeah.
And it was really hard. As much as we felt relief, I think it was also really hard because there was sadness. We both talked about the sadness of like, this is not going to be
this has been like a massive piece of our own recovery journey.
Absolutely.
Like this has been one of the pillars of our own recovery journey. So to like think about setting that aside is a really sad thing.
Yeah, and we've met a lot of incredible people, and
we've helped a lot of people too. We get emails and messages from people, and that's so fulfilling to know that the time we are putting in is really helping people, and there's a lot of value in that too. It makes it feel really worth it.
It is. At the same time, it's clear that we need to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
And
we need a break. We really break.
Between just putting it together and then trying to do stuff on social media to get the word out more. The list goes on. It's a lot of small things is what it is. It's a lot of small things. We're going to try and systematize things a little bit better.
Right.
Was one of the things we spoke about.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come back next season. Should we talk about how we're going to shift a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So
I can hand you the floor back.
Sure. So we've talked a lot about what it might look like when we come back. We're definitely discussing the potential of having a video podcast. Forever we've stayed audio only so that our guests can choose to stay anonymous. What we're finding is that 99.5% of our guests are happy to show up and give us their photo and their bio and be on reels and things like that. Most people are really comfortable with the video. And so because video is so much more engaging, and it's cool to sit and like be able to look at the people who are speaking. So we're talking about using video going forward. That way you can stream it on YouTube or whatever and actually watch the conversation. We are talking about changing our publishing schedule. We don't know what that's going to look like yet. We're going to give ourselves some time to talk about it and see. That could mean 2 episodes a month. Maybe that just means we continue with the batch recording. So no specific answer on that, but we are discussing the publishing schedule and what that might look like. We're definitely going to keep our format the same. We love our format, like the conversational, roundtable discussion based on a specific topic. Like it's such a unique format that you don't see anywhere else. And we're really proud of what that, like the content that turns out and the value that it produces. So that will definitely stay the same, but there will just be a little bit of an evolution as far as what it looks like. And as we make decisions and whatnot, we will for sure keep you guys updated and let you know what that is going to look like. And then as far as like what's going to stay the same, we talked about like what's going to stay the same, what's going to look different. And for sure, we're still going to keep our Monday night meetings. So if you guys have ever thought about coming to a meeting and you're not sure if you want to, we still really, really encourage you to come hang out with us. It's the coolest thing just to hang out with other people doing this sober thing. But we're still going to do that. We're still going to be there every Monday. We have not missed, well, we have missed a couple of meetings, but there has been a Monday night meeting every Monday, holidays, everything, for over 2 years now, and we
Yep.
love it. Coolest group of people. So definitely come check that out for sure. I'm still going to send out a newsletter every Monday, so there'll still be a little bit of thoughts and encouragement and reminder and stuff that'll come out every Monday. So if you're not subscribed, go do that at our website, throughtheglassrecovery.com. And then we're still going to be active on social media. We'll still be around. You can still send us messages. We're still going to, talk about what's going on in our lives and share stories, things like that, share funny memes once in a while. And we're going to re-release episodes, some of our favorite episodes throughout the summer. So we're still going to keep episodes coming. We're going to take all of our favorites, your favorites, like the most popular, most downloaded episodes, and we're going to keep sending something out every Monday. So you're not going to really, we're still going to be there. We're just going to be taking a break behind the scenes. And then
We'll be taking a break from the podcast portion. Other than that, we're not really taking a break away from anything else. It's basically like the same break as we took last summer, an extended break, another review of how can we evolve this podcast and turn it into something that bring more value to you one way or another, maintain some of our time and put focus into things that we think that are important, that'll bring value to our listeners.
Right.
And this is one of the things why we talked about video and how there's a different level of engagement. We get to see each other's faces. We get to share a little bit more life with each other. And we think that's going to bring some value. So it's just a matter of how are we going to do things? What's that going to look like? How do we continue to evolve and grow, maintain the things that are important to us, and still, show up in a really cool, authentic way?
Right. And I will say, like, so for me personally, I'm really working on developing my coaching, the coaching business that I have, the one-on-one coaching that's available, and I'm making a lot of changes and doing a lot of growth and evolving in that. And that's been a huge focus of where my time's going. So for those of you that don't know, I have a blog and I publish new content every week. It's great encouragement, informative, just, whatever comes up. I've been writing about that. It's turned into another really cool free resource for anybody that's interested. The website is noalcoholneeded.net. And then I'm in the process of developing a group coaching program. and really nailing down what like my coaching curriculum looks like. So there's been a lot of growth and development for me as a recovery coach. And that's been something that I'm pouring a lot more time and an effort and energy into that I'm really excited about. So for sure, go check out my website also, because there's a lot of other good kind of free resources, some great downloads. My ebook is there. It's free to download. So that's kind of where I've been pouring energy right now. And then the other thing I did want to mention is we did talk about what's going to look different as going forward. The only real difference is, I mean, obviously we're going to take a longer summer break. We are also going to close out our Facebook group. We tried the Facebook group. It felt like a great idea. We're realizing that we don't have the time to make that a priority and to really run a successful Facebook group. It takes a lot of people and priorities and energy and time, and we're spread really thin right now. So we are going to close the Facebook group, but we're still both available on Facebook. You can find and follow both of our personal accounts. You can also keep in touch with us on the Through the Glass Facebook account. We're both on Messenger, so you can keep in touch that way. So there are still definitely ways to get some support. But that is one thing to let you guys know is that we are gonna close out the group. Um, yeah, what else do we have that we wanted to talk about, Steve?
Well, I started a side project for school, and it's a men's mental health podcast. So first I'm going to say something on behalf of you, because I am the lucky one that gets to see what Julie's creating behind the scenes for her coaching program and what that looks like. And she has a teacher's heart already. And so when she puts these things together, and I'm telling you, she's bringing a ton of value in small packages. And I, like, in some ways, what's the word? Jealous envy, probably, because you're really talented at
Aw.
doing what you're putting together. It's so relatable. It is right on the money of what our recoveries have looked like, especially your own. But our recoveries I would say, are a fairly similar path. And you're putting it together in a really beautiful way. So I'm looking forward to people connecting with what you're putting together. Your blog also. I think it's important to acknowledge that, because it's what you're putting together is really cool, and people are going to find a ton of value in it. So now that I'm done,
That was really sweet. Thank you, Steve.
I get to watch this happen, and I get to read it before I get to read it before it becomes a thing as a reviewer, and like I can feel the heart that gets put into it. I know where those personal experiences have come from, and we've had those conversations. So it's cool. But by the time you're done, you're going to be able to put your own recovery package, book, or whatever you want to call it together, and it's going to have a lot of really good meaningful value to it. The way you express yourself in words is incredible. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for everyone else, or whoever decides to to work with you. I think you're on a really good path, I think.
Thank you. I appreciate
So
it a lot.
I'm excited for you, even though there's probably mild envy there. I think that happens. I think when we both grow, and for me in the men's mental health podcast, you've said the same thing. It's like, I'm kind of envious. You have like this thing that I'm pouring my heart into,
Right.
right? And so it's just the growth of both of us and where it goes, and You know what I mean?
It's also really cool to see if you go back and look at where we started when
Oh,
this podcast was brand new. I mean, and we weren't certified as recovery coaches at that point. We were like
yeah.
just two people who were essentially evangelizing the greatness of sobriety. And we've come so far and changed so much. And now, we've done this and we're going to still do this, but we've also found our own directions and our own passions and our own paths. And it's just really neat. I mean, it's cool for us to look back and see how we've evolved too, just as people and as professionals and all of that. It's really neat.
Yeah, it's not too often you and I talk about like what we're up to and what are the things that we're doing. I joined last September, you and I both decided to start eating clean. We ate paleo, we changed our diets. We uh I started at the end of January, and every winter I get a little bit itchy. And so I joined a CrossFit gym and joined a CrossFit challenge, and I got my ass handed to me 4 days a week for 6 weeks, and I ended up winning that CrossFit challenge, and I'm a member of the CrossFit group. I'm way fitter now than I've ever been. Uh, and it's been just a really cool experience, even just looking at what I'm eating and how it's benefiting me, and what, taking sugar out of our diets, and just feeling physically better. It's outside of the recovery journey, there is the life journey that exists behind it. And like the loss of your dog, the loss of mine,
Right.
uh just a lot of life. Cora going to stock show.
There's been a lot of life this year. Life has been wild for both of us in really amazingly good ways and in absolutely tragically horrible ways. There's been a lot of life that's happened for both of us in the last 4.5 months, 5 months. So yeah,
Yep.
it's been a lot.
School for me, relearning how to learn,
Right.
and knocking out 4.0 GPA for my first year. Like I'm super proud of myself for that. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, other than I knew failing wasn't an option. So a lot of personal self-discovery happened just in this season of recording, really.
Right. Well, and I'm about to graduate my youngest kid from homeschool, which
Mhm.
all I've done for my whole adult life is homeschool children. So I am probably 3 days away from graduating her and printing up her diploma. And then I'm like, my whole life and my whole purpose is going to change. So major life shift, new season of life for me. And yeah, that's where we are. I guess that's just a good basic update for all of our listeners. We don't talk about a lot of that stuff. So now you guys kind of know where we're at and what life's been like for us.
A
But
little bit, yeah.
um yeah, I think in the end, basically the only thing you guys are going to really notice that's different is that we're just going to take a longer break. And otherwise we're still going to be around, and we're still totally available if you want to send a message, if you want to get in touch. If you want to give us some feedback or tell us what you'd like to see, we would be so happy to hear what you have to share with us. Tell us what you love. Tell us what you think we should change. This is a great time for it because we will totally take into consideration any feedback. We have a ton of regular listeners, like religiously every Monday, which is the coolest thing in the world. So you guys are the ones that we're here for. You guys are the ones that make this the thing that we do, that we're passionate about. So send us an email. Tell us what you would love for us to do more of, or whatever. We will definitely listen. We'll take it all into consideration.
Even topics that you want to hear us talk about. This past season, we tried to tackle some of the more difficult ones that we don't hear people talk about too much. One of the ones was eating disorders, and we talked about depression and
ADHD.
ADHD. And so we there's links, and I mean we could do an episode probably on trauma or something like that too, but there's links there to certain things. We did secondary addiction episode. And
Yeah.
so if there is something that you find that is affecting your life and we haven't spoken about it yet, let us know. Like there's no topic that isn't valuable. I think one of the ones that we probably haven't talked about was like sexual intimacy in sobriety or something like it. I think it's probably one of the
I've
other.
had somebody send us or ask for us to cover that. So I guess that's definitely in the future.
And so we could maybe tackle that one next season.
Mhm.
Because that's real, and we've done dating. We could do dating again.
Yeah.
But if there's something that you want to hear us talk about, reach out to us. We are going to be around
Yep.
all summer long still, just not producing a podcast and figuring out.
Much needed rest.
Yeah. Yeah, that burnout is real. Come February, there's always the big push in January because we got dry January that comes, and we try and bring as much value as we can in that first month because we both know how important those first 30 days are. And once we get to about mid-February, it's like Valentine's Day or something. It becomes Groundhog Day for podcasting.
First.
And it's like, oh.
Yep.
And so we have to take our time to figure out what works for us and acknowledge it. And I think this season we're actually just gonna acknowledge it for what it is.
Yeah. And I think we really, I just want to make sure that for all of our listeners, everybody that's hanging out with us right now, we really wouldn't be here without you guys. Like you are 100% the reason we're here. Your messages, your emails, your comments on social media, all of the downloads and all of that, and just knowing that what we're doing and all of these people that we're getting together and the platform that we've created, the fact that we get the feedback and we know how helpful it is, that's why we're here. So we are so grateful that you guys sit down with us every week or, take us on your walk or, let us ride with you to work or whatever on the radio. We are so grateful that you're here making this something that we can do because it's created so much meaning and value in our own lives. And for sure we wouldn't have it if it wasn't for every listener, every guest, all of the people that have come together and really made this thing happen. So we really appreciate you guys. We will definitely be back early September, and we will kick off Through the Glass Recovery Podcast Season 4. And we'll keep you guys up to date in the meantime on social media, let you know what we think that's going to look like. And yeah, we're super excited to see where that goes and how things evolve over the summer.
If they could have heard our conversation when we were talking about what we were going to do going forward, the amount of gratitude that came out of both of us when we were even talking about what we need to change was immense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was, yeah. I mean,
well, it is. This is truly a pillar of our recovery. I will say too, this is kind of cool. So just some stats for you guys. We have stats that we can watch on all these different websites that tell us about downloads and whatever. So we recently reached the top 3% of podcasts worldwide, which is kind of amazing. And also we are just about to hit 30,000 downloads, which is that's crazy to me that these episodes have been downloaded that many times, that there's that many people are interested and are needing the support, and we're able to provide that is incredible. So it's really cool just to see the stats and and know how many people out there, we may not hear from all of them because I know it's a really hard thing to talk about, but that we know that there's this content, this whole library of content out there for people to listen to, even if they never do have a conversation with us about it. It's a really good feeling. So
yeah,
really need to see some success there too.
Absolutely. So I think we will close this out by saying thank you to all of our listeners from season 1 to now, and anyone in between that's gonna hop on and find us in a Google search or something along those lines throughout the summer. I feel like they've given us more than what we've given.
Absolutely.
In this, and that just this has been an adventure, and it's going to continue to be an adventure, and we're happy to take you along on this journey. So I just really would like to express an eternal gratitude to our listeners and the people that just support us wholeheartedly. It's just incredible. So I'm looking forward to seeing you video next season.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to, in all likelihood, find us on YouTube, which you can right now, but
Like
you'll be
video
able
version.
you'll be able to see, like, I'll wink or something.
That means that I'm gonna have to like do my hair and get dressed and put on makeup on a regular basis if we're gonna do that.
I have not once seen you undressed during a recording. So, like, I mean, just saying, you've always shown up wearing clothes. Our guests would be like, well, this is awkward.
Oh, but video is hard for me. Video is super uncomfortable. So, but that's what recovery is doing uncomfortable things. So
Do
we
you know
will
what
totally
that
do.
sounds like? That sounds like an opportunity for growth.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
All
I'll hear that one. I'll hear from that one later.
Okay, we're gonna wrap
Right.
this up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And we will see you in a few months.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us for these past 3 seasons. Stay tuned for replays of our favorite episodes, and we'll see you in the fall with brand new, amazing content.